with reports of damage still coming in. We start this hour once again in Europe, where Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that Russia will follow any peace agreements about Ukraine. He added that if foreign troops are sent to Ukraine, they will be considered targets. Putin also said he has an open dialogue with US President Donald Trump, but they haven't spoken directly. Meanwhile, the Kremlin stated that a huge amount of work remains before any potential high-level or top-level meeting between Russia and Ukraine can take place. This comes amid renewed diplomatic attention, with US President Donald Trump reportedly pushing for direct talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. On the ground, Ukraine has targeted Russia's Razayan oil refinery in a fresh drone strike, according to the commander of Ukraine's drone forces. The extent of the damage or casualties remains unclear at this moment. We are now joined by Glenn Grant, who is an ex-advisor to the Defence Minister of Ukraine, and he joins us live from Riga in Latvia. Thank you very much, Glenn, for speaking to us. Pleasure to talk to you, as always. This message from the Kremlin, both rejecting the foreign troops on the ground on Ukrainian soil, Glenn, and also saying that there is huge work when it comes to high-level direct talks between Moscow and Kyiv. What is the Kremlin really signaling here?
I think it's pretty clear that they're saying we're going to keep going, and that everything that you're doing, everything that you're doing in Europe, and it's just wasted energy, because there is no intention of going for peace. This is a dangerous time at the moment, because we're just coming up to the Russian Zapad exercise, which is supposed to be in Belarus, and of course that also means that that the northern border of Ukraine will also be severely at risk during this time. And I would not say that it's the strongest armed border in the country. So the Ukrainians must be worried about what's going to come out of this Zapad exercise, whether it's a rehearsal or whether it's the start for something else.
Glenn, we got that statement from French President Macron yesterday saying that 26 Western allies would commit troops after a ceasefire. How realistic is this from the coalition of the willing?
Well, I mean, if he says that they're all willing to commit something, then fine, they're willing to commit, but commit to what? There's not peace on the way. So that, in my mind, they're all just posturing in one way, gaining political benefit with each other by saying, yes, we'll join you. But they all know that there's nothing on the horizon. The British Defence Minister has apparently said, and I haven't read it yet myself, but has apparently said that, Russia is weak. Yes, it is. But, the idea that because they've lost 1 million people means weakness. Now, Putin will have calculated that, 3 million he can easily afford to lose 3 million people, because it's just ammunition for him. So I think that, we're still in dangerous waters. And I still think that the Europeans have not grasped the essence of what this is all about yet.
Glenn, just finally, very quickly, obviously the European support has been very strong for Ukraine, and Western support in general. Of course, we've seen fluctuation with the US president. However, what do you think the Kremlin thinks when they see this posturing, as you call it, from the European nations and other Western allies? And do you think they feel threatened at all by the European powers, or is it just the United States that they think has any real substantive power in these negotiations?
Oh, I think I'm going to say you could be wrong on both counts. I think in the first thing, they laugh at the Europeans who are showing that they haven't got the balls to actually enter the fight. So it's not going to bother them at all. As for America, I mean, America is bought. There's no question about it. Putin has bought Trump in some way or another. So I see nothing coming out of Trump at all. I mean, it's just 2 weeks delay, 2 weeks delay, 2 weeks delay. Well, how many times do you have to do that? And that's what you do with a friend. That's not what you do with an enemy. So I think that Putin is quite clear now after his successful trip to China and with the ways that the Western opposition is working, he's quite clear he can keep going.
Glenn, do stay with us as we have some further updates from the